by him. He held up a couple inches, Spiro. You saw it.
That last foul actually called on Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace after Jabari had a nice block out there.
And it's on a 10-3 spurt. Carter, not much room to work with. And you see how Tayshaun Prince can alter a shot with that length he has.
No question.
Billups. It's a long two-point field goal.
Right. Chauncey Billups likes to do that in transition. It's part of their break. He'll come down and really push it, get you back on your heels, and then pull up for the long-range shot.
Billups in his 8th NBA season. Banded with Denver, Colorado. Jabari Smith trying to find Carter along the baseline.
A little behind him, and Vince pointing upwards, looking for a lob. Again, it's tough to get a lob on Tayshaun Prince with that length, but Jabari's done a pretty good job at passing the ball. That one just a little off.
3 combined turnovers in the early going. It's Richard Hamilton inside.
Now look for more of that, Spiro, because of the height advantage. And Richard Hamilton, one of the best conditioned athletes, I think, in the entire NBA. Maybe the best. Really uses screens, and now he has a height advantage, so maybe trying to look to get a little bit closer inside off those screens.
Prince. It deflected momentarily. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Carter. Ball deflected again. Here's Carter. Barely gets it off in time. Ball knocked around, and Carter comes away with it.
Well, they got it up. That's all that mattered as far as getting a shot attempt and hitting the rim. Give yourself another opportunity.
Here's Jason Kidd, already 3 field goals. And again, you see the length, those long arms, and they disrupt an offense.
And coaches always stress that as far as, you know, knockaways and get your hands on balls defensively. That means you're active and you're going after it.
Rasheed Wallace unable to corral the pass from Chauncey Billups. Larry Brown looking on, 64 years of age.
A lot of times, Spiro, going back to that last point, there'd be a coach on the sideline keeping track of deflections, is what they call it. Just what we saw down here with Detroit, getting your hands on passes.
They're trying to find Carter crossing it through the lane. As we move under the 4-minute mark in this opening quarter, Ben Wallace still quiet offensively. Trying to work on the rookie Denon Krstić. Wallace looping around Krstić. And then may have gotten dizzy.
Yeah, I mean, that was a strange move to say the least. Something you see a point guard do, keeping his dribble. But then he had that last-minute pirouette. Great strength by Ben Wallace there.
The Pistons answering that 10-3 next run with a 6-0 spurt that Krstić ends with a two-handed flush.
Yeah, that was pretty. A little dive down the lane, and Vince hit him with a perfect pass. Nailed it. Flush.
Antonio McDyess approaches the scorer's table. Shot clock down to 7 seconds. Billups. And it's taken by Carter. A foot race with Rasheed. And Krstić unable to handle the pass.
A little bit too much there as Rasheed and Carter joining at one another. I think a little bit of fun.
Krstić may have been thinking about what he was going to do with the basketball. And Nets turnover. Stay with us. Continental Arena, Ron Mercer. Just 3 games played this season. And as we mentioned earlier, this is the first time the Nets have dressed 12 players since the 7th of December, span of 29 games. Zoran Planinic obviously itching to get back after his left hand surgery back on December the 4th.
This will be a hold on Vaughn here.
Well, interesting to see how Jacques Vaughn's minutes will be affected by the return of both Mercer and Jacques Vaughn.
A lot of decision-making left to Lawrence Frank now, trying to find playing time for a lot of guards right now.
That is a new problem that he has had to deal with.
Now, that was a shot by Ben Wallace that he threw it up there to get the offensive rebound, and that was it.
Shot clock did not reset, did not touch rim. As Chauncey Billups turns it over, the 5th committed by the Pistons. Well, it was a busy week. Detroit a chance to visit the White House this past Monday, as is tradition with the NBA champion. Rasheed Wallace was not enthralled by the visit. We'll tell you about some of the comments he made afterwards. Corner jumper, Jabari Smith able to knock one down.
Better rotation on that one as Jabari on screen and pop action. Good job and nice follow through.
Pistons with possession. They got sloppy with it. 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions. Hamilton.
And there's taking him down low. You see him back in, gets below the foul line, and Jacques Vaughn, again, an outstanding defender, but giving up a lot of inches in trying to contain Rip Hamilton.
This Pistons offense, 27th in the NBA out of 30 teams in scoring offense. As Jabari Smith now, Kelly, consecutive field goals.
A little release there as he had set a screen and just took off to the basket. Little slip.
And the Nets now 10 of 18 shooting. Inside, Tayshaun Prince.
Turnabout fair play there for the Pistons on the nice alley-oop inside. Billups to Prince.
Tayshaun Prince in his 3rd season. Former collegiate star at Kentucky. A native of Compton, California. Shot clock down to 7. Here is Kidd, picked up by Hamilton. Now Kristich has to do something with it. It's stripped.
Billups with the quick hand, Spiro.
Antonio McDyess into the game for Detroit. Here's Ben Wallace down the lane. And is tied up by Nenad Kristich. Substitutions for the Nets, Billy Thomas, and former Piston Eldon Campbell, a member of the Pistons championship team last season. Nenad Kristich will sit down. Well, we heard Eldon Campbell prior to the start saying it's all business against his former coach Larry Brown and his old teammates. Eldon, of course, initially upset with the fact that he was not able to rejoin the Pistons after the Nets picked him up.
Well, the idea was that once they made the trade for Carlos Arroyo, they were going to bring back, assuming that he was going to clear waivers, and Eldon was looking forward to that. And obviously the Nets had different ideas, and Eldon was not playing for the Pistons at all. I mean, he was a guy that they were just going to save for the end of the season and into the playoffs to try to keep him rested. So he's a little bit out of shape, as we saw the other night in Boston. So he's got some work to do, right?
He certainly does. Campbell still trying to shed some extra weight. Jason Kidd backing in on Carlos Arroyo, who's checked in. Shot clock down to 2. Thomas. Pull-up jumper. He rattles it through.
Last second decision there. Billy Thomas, a little show and go and a nice stroke to get it right before the buzzer.
Well, Carlos Arroyo back in the lineup after missing his last 2 games. You see the mask he's wearing, similar to the one Rip Hamilton wears.
To have surgery on a broken nose.
Suffered from a Trevor Ariza elbow against the Knicks back on January 29th. Final 9 seconds. Smith. Good look. Beat the napping Pistons defense.
Well, the Pistons made a mistake by taking a shot, first of all.
Oh, quick end-to-end action. Arroyo up ahead for McDyess. Here is Kidd, a half-court heave. And it's off target.
Wild finish to the first.
And an entertaining opening quarter here at Continental Airlines Arena. Jason Kidd able to locate his running 5-man, Jabari Smith. And then one of his counterparts, Antonio McDyess, answering at the other end. A 3-point basketball game as we head into the second quarter. Stay with us.